Hello students, in the last class of genetics chapter we have discussed about the characters that are transmitted from parents to offspring or the grandparents. Then we have discussed about genes, where they are located. Today we will discuss about gene and genome, then genes and their alleles, dominant and recessive characters, genotype and phenotype, and the last we will discuss about the Punnett square, where the parents are having roller tongue while the offsprings are roller as well as non-roller. So let's start with the first topic, which is gene. Gene is a segment of DNA that codes for a character. From here, a segment of DNA that codes for a character. Genome. Genome is segment or complementary DNA including genes as well as intergenic parts. Now what does this intergenic part mean? Suppose this is a segment of a chromosome which is having DNA sequence from here to here. This DNA is a gene, having a gene which codes for a particular character. But this part, the intergenic part, which is a non-coding part, these parts are coding part. While the center one, it is the non-coding part. So, for genome includes coding as well as non-coding intergenic parts of the DNA fragment. Gene is the DNA segment which codes for a character, while genome coding as well as non-coding segments. Next is genes and their alleles. Genes and their alleles. Every gene which is located on a chromosome part or segment, it is having a contrasting character, or a contrasting character you can say that for eyes, if the character it is having two contrasting features, that is black and brown. For hair also we are taking two characters, straight and curly. But today we will discuss about tongue, characters of tongue. The common character in tongue is a roller tongue. Roller tongue, while the recessive character is the non-roller, which will represent by small r. This is for roller and this is non-roller. Now, what does this roller and non-roller tongue means is when you protrude out your tongue, if it rolls or if it is rolling, then it is a roller tongue. It is represented by the genes or the with capital letter, that is RR, while the non-roller is represented by small r. Always when the character is a suppressed character which is not expressed in the offspring, that is represented by small r. Actually we say this dominant and recessive, which we will discuss in the third topic. So now you can just say the roller tongues are represented by capital R, while the non-roller is represented by small r. Genes and their alleles. Alleles are the genes which are having contrasting features, or alleles are the contrasting features of the genes. Next is dominant and recessive character. Dominant and recessive characters. Dominant character, the character which is expressed in one generation, or one generation or other, which is normal or which is more common in every offspring, then it is known as the dominant character. The character which is expressed. Which is expressed. Now the recessive, the character which remains hidden in one or the other generation. The character which remain hidden or suppressed. The character which is expressed is the dominant character, while the recessive character is the character which remains hidden. This you can understand when we'll make a Punnett square of the roller and non-roller tongue. So this, then genotype and phenotype. First we'll make a Punnett square of a rolling and non-rolling parent. Case study is given in your book that is about parent. Both are roller, male and female. So for the male we use the symbol in the pedigree chart by square, female by a circle, and the offsprings produced were one female, one male and the other female. The character which is common we are taking, we are representing it by hollow structures, while the character which is a which is an uncommon character, it is represented by a solid structure. So like this is roller female, roller male. In this, the offsprings produced, these are the, if they are combined together by a single line, then it represents the pair or the partners. After this, then the next generation or offspring. This is a female which is a non-roller for tongue character. This is roller, roller male, roller female. Now the question arises, if the parents are not having the character of non-rolling tongue, then from where this character comes to the offspring? For this we'll make a Punnett square. It may be chances the female is having heterozygous condition for rolling tongue. Now what is heterozygous condition? Before making that square, I'll explain you the homozygous and heterozygous condition. Homozygous and heterozygous condition. If the character is true for its allele, like this, it is represented by capital R for the dominant, while small r for recessive. These are capital R if the both is represented by capital R. Homozygous dominant roller tongue, homozygous recessive non-roller tongue, while heterozygous condition, if one capital and one small r is used for representing this, then this condition is known as heterozygous condition, means one r is from dominant, one is from recessive character. In this case, the expression is always of the dominant character, which is of roller. One of the parent may be having this heterozygous condition, but the expression for that character is roller condition. Roller condition for this, these are the roller and non-roller conditions. For this, we are saying R. This is the homozygous dominant, roller, heterozygous dominant, roller, and homozygous recessive non-roller. This is called genotype, since it expresses the genetic composition or genetic constitution of a character. So it is called genotype. But the physical expression, roller and non-roller, the physical expression is known as phenotype. So genotype, the genetic composition or genetic constitution of a character is genotype, while the physical expression, roller and non-roller character or other characters which we will discuss, so that is the phenotype. Now we will make the Punnett square for rolling and non-rolling. For the condition or the case study we have discussed, I have already told you that one of the parents may be heterozygous. So we are taking the female as heterozygous and the male as homozygous, because both are the roller ones. Roller, tongue. Now the gametes produced. One of the student asked me, what are gametes? Gametes are the ova and the sperm produced. Ova and the sperm produced, which is having the character R or small r. Gametes. Here also R and R. Now when we are making the Punnett square like this, one side we are taking the female characters and other side the male. This is for male and this is for female. Now when the gamete of male fuses with the female, the first character is capital R and small r. With this, the small r, capital R and small r. Again in this case, R and R. Capital R, R. Capital R, small r. Now from this square, you can observe that 2 are capital RR, while 1 is capital R, small r. So this capital R and small r conditions, this is a heterozygous condition, from where if 2 heterozygous parents are crossed, then the offspring might have a non-rolling tongue. So this is about the Punnett square, and let's have a quick revision of whatever the topics what we have discussed today. Now the first topic was gene and genome. Gene is the segment of DNA which codes for a particular character, while genome includes gene as well as the intergenic segments. Gene and their alleles, gene which expresses or which codes for a character and its contrasting character. So both the pair is called allele or allelic pair. Dominant and recessive, the character which is expressed is the dominant character, while the character which is suppressed or remain hidden in one or other generation, that is the recessive character. Genotype and phenotype. Genotype is the genetic composition, while phenotype is the physical expression or phenotypic expression which we can observe. Then roller and non-roller parents, we have made a Punnett square. That's all for today. Thank you.